Yo, what's good, everyone? As you can tell from reading the title and clicking on this video and seeing the thumbnail, we will be talking about the strikers that are the best of the best in each category, right? So basically what this means is we will be going through every single shooting category, or at least the ones that are explicitly used, and we'll be going through and ranking the best striker in that category, or who has the best shooting feats in that category, specifically using that shot style, right? So I thought about this because I don't usually go in this channel and do videos like these. It's usually a matchup video, or I talk about how good a character is. I've never actively compared these strikers against each other in stats that they all arguably should be good at, right? So I wanted to go into a more depth and talk about how these strikers and what they excel at is what I want to say, right? So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it, starting with finishing. Now, finishing is typically inside the box shooting, anything that's in the penalty area. So for this one, I decided to go with the person that I think is the best at finishing, which I think is Shido, right? And I picked Shido because I think it's clearly him. His inside the box shooting is phenomenal, to the point that he has his literal own, like, his spatial awareness gets a buff in the penalty area, right? So anything inside the penalty box, we have enough feats from Shido and U20 in the Neo Egoist League that we can put him at this high standard, because he literally is impossible to guard in the penalty area. They note it in third selection, they note it in U20, they note it in the Neo Egoist League, specifically in his game against Barcha. It is almost impossible to stop him in the penalty area, right? So you just had to give that to him because it's literally almost unstoppable to stop his shots in the penalty area. Now, volleys, right? Volleys are typically shots taken from a pass before it can either touch the ground or before a first touch, right? So for volleys, we have a lot of contenders. Isagi, you could say Bachira too. There's a few players that, just kind of shoot off the pass, but there is one player in particular with an extremely insane weapon that I think we can all agree with that takes volleys, right? And this is, of course, Michael Kaiser. I think Michael Kaiser is the best volley shooter just due to the fact of Kaiser impact and how fast the volley shot is, that it makes it almost impossible to react to with the fastest swing speed in the world. And he does have a combination of crazy feats with a volley. So, like, even talking about the Barcha game where he first hits it, that beautiful volley shot, it's actually pretty insane, right? But I would say a second runner up to this spot would definitely be Isagi with his direct shot. But I will just say Kaiser's volley shot, and Isagi stated this, it's his ideal play style, but it's something that he can't attain because, Kaiser kind of worked his ass off to get the fastest swing speed in the world. So I want to give that to Kaiser with the best volley shots, right? And funny enough, coming in again with the best curve shots is Kaiser. Now, curve shots is shots that bend, usually to the right or the left side of the net. And why I'm giving this to Kaiser is specifically because of the Kaiser Impact Magnus. Now, don't get me wrong, Ren and Yukimiya in particular have great curve shots. They both have really good curve shots and they bend very well, but I don't think that we've ever seen them bend like the Kaiser Impact Magnus has bended. The Kaiser Impact Magnus literally defies, like, physics in a way. It should not be able to bend like that all the way and then arc and then turn into the net. If Loki didn't stop that goal, it literally would have been the most brokenest shit in the entire series. I don't really see how the Kaiser Impact Magnus could not be considered the best curve shot. But I'm probably gonna get some backlash for that. People might think Ren has a better curve, but I just don't think that's happening, right? Now, power shots are usually shots taken from players with crazy physicals or crazy leg strength, and I'm giving this to Kunigami, right? Kunigami, especially after wild card, has a crazy right foot and lefty foot power shot to the point where the shot has so much power that it picks up velocity after it's shot, right? And these are really powerful shots, and this is due to the fact that his physique is supposed to mimic Noel Noah's, so everything is supposed to mimic Noel Noah's. So in terms of power shooting, like Kunigami has it, like his power shots are insane. Let's not even talk about the power shots, the crazy ass power shot volley goal that he got in the Manshine game. That shit was crazy. So I'm giving Kunigami power shots, and with the next one I think is long shots, right? And with long shots, I'm going to of course give that to Baro with his 29-meter shot, right? His 29-meter long shot. Now, Baro's always been a player that takes long shots ever since second selection, like center line goals in second selection and then third selection. And then with the Neo Eagles League, we have that same thing too. He can shoot very far out. He's one of the players that is most seen shooting from far out. He's never been a close shooter or a penalty area demon. He has mostly been a player that will take long shots and force them in with his own individual talent, right? So I'm going to give this to Baro, one of the only players that actually takes long shots in general. So that's pretty much all. And then getting into headers. Headers are shots that are taken with your head. Of course, it's kind of self-explanatory. And you know what's funny? Because with this one, I almost picked Ryu, but I was thinking and I was like, no, I have to give it to Shido, the second player on here that was picked twice, like Kaiser, right? And I had to pick Shido specifically because in terms of header goals, he actually has a few of them. He has one in the Neo Eagles League, and he has another one in the other game in the Neo Eagles League, one against Barca and the other one against Bastard. Both were incredible goals, where one where he was getting guarded by 3 people, and the other one where he had a pretty much super goal with Charles, right? So I think those 2 goals are enough to put him over Ryu's, although Ryu's height and length kind of give him a better, easier time at hitting header goals. Shido just, again, demon in the penalty area, so he can also just hit header goals like that. He's just pretty insane. Honestly, he's pretty great. And then with the last shot category, we have trick shots, right? And I would consider trick shots like feinting, disorienting your opponent, and things like that. And my first thought was Batra, but then I thought, and you know, people aren't really gonna like this, but I was like, you know what? I think Nagi takes trick shots. And that's specifically because of the 2-stage revolver and the 5-stage revolver, and the fact that most of his, like, before he gets into his shot, it's like he's breaking his defender down at like the worst case of scenario for them, right? Like with the feints and the taps, the flicks, it's almost impossible to guard naturally until you have like a revised plan like Atoya and Barcha had to stop his 5-stage revolver. But it's just way too unpredictable, and he pretty much can just, we can label the 5-stage revolver as a fucking trick shot. He did like 5 feints and then shot the ball, right? To the point where it literally doesn't look possible. So I gave Nagi trick shots, and that's all I have. Those 7 shot types are the only ones I have listed down as the main shot types. And as you can see, Kaiser and Shido were the 2 players that only got 2 of them. Everybody only got 1 that was listed under there. And that's pretty much all. And honestly, if you guys want a kind of sequel to this video of saying who I think is the best striker, like shooting wise in Blue Lock, I can definitely get that. And if it wasn't clear enough already, this is only under 20 players, and the reason why Loki isn't included on this list is because he's pretty OP, and we also really don't have a lot of shooting feats from him besides him just being fast, right? We know he's a good striker. We don't have any particular shooting feats on what shots he takes because, you know, we just haven't seen him play a lot seriously. And that's pretty much all for this video. And if you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.